Andy, they're ready.
Yeah. You want beef? $1.50.
Andy, I got gloves for you.
Alright.
$1.50, right.
Your gloves of choice.
This project originally came around because Kelly and I were talking about, we were shooting a feature-length film that was on a 6-month hiatus at the time.
And we had this 6-month break during which we were doing nothing, which was kind of where Pete and I, twiddling our thumbs, were like, well, could we squeeze in a project during the break?
As a result, we were just talking about trying to squeeze something in and out really quickly, which then this became a really great candidate for just 1 weekend of shooting, you know, only a couple weeks of editing. And so I was talking with her from the original idea of doing a project.
Did you like the twist?
Yeah.
That was great. Yeah.
Alright, now watch it.
How do you think about the lower levels on that?
It's good. I wanted more because it's easier to take them away.
Check out the level.
Yeah!
It was a help rather than a hindrance that we had those deadlines, that we had to work within that break and be done. That really, you know, put the impetus on us to be as organized as possible, and you know, as much as making the film was the point, it was, can we do it in this amount of time?
I sent her the first draft of the script, and she basically was coaching me through, you know, each version of the script that came around, and many of which had dialogue in them for the first few. And I basically was like, well, I guess this is sort of leading to you being the star.
Cut. I don't see any reason to do that again, unless Dave has a problem with it. That was great.
Nice.
Me too.
Okay. Darling, that was awesome. All right.
With Kelly and I actually would be at her house here, so when we finally decided that this was the set, we would use her house here and we would take just a digital still camera and we would take photograph storyboards of what was going on, just basically pre-editing the film before we even get into shooting it. So
Action! Cut!
beforehand I did a screen test in which I set up a camera, a little 8mm camera in my apartment, wide enough so that I can see my 2 couches in it, and I hit record and I timed out with beats some blocking that I came up with, and on the I had myself act out the scene on one side, and I got up and I changed shirts, and I went to the other couch and I acted out the other side of the scene with beats, trying to time it out, and then I just put it together in the computer. You know, just kind of looking in. If you want, you can put your hand up, but if you do that, we'll need to do it every time.
Right.
You know, but otherwise, kind of looking in. This is the shot, or this is the position in which you're seeing the shower dry, but hearing the shower running. And so then you just kind of.
How did you plan on busting a hole in Kelly's door, even though it wasn't her door, but while keeping the low budget and not completely trashing her apartment? How did you go about playing that?
That comes right down to Jeff Kehoe, who was responsible for actually breaking the doors.
Set these up so they fit the doorway, and then I'm going to wait until each shot, see how it goes, to actually going to score the doors with a knife following the grain to make it easier for the sledgehammer to break.
Right.
These doors are so cheap, the sledgehammer should break in time.
Jeff was wonderful at staining them, making them look appropriate. He drilled the holes in them to put the doorknob in, and we did a quick test before we actually shot the shots to make sure that it would break accurately and safely, and that wood chips wouldn't come flying off. And when we did the test, we were all very confident about how it was looking, and so Kelly was being a great sport. She's like, I'm ready to stand in the shot.
Action! Action!
Three, two, one.
Luckily, I trust him, and having worked with him before, I know that he was gonna, take care not to destroy my dice with the sledgehammer. So, yeah, that worked well.
This thing is heavy, man. Here it is. Just a little bit aged.
Dave, is he going to be able to go up and down?
Give me 2 seconds till we get there.
This is the second film that I've ever done with Dave.
You don't have to be that high, Andy.
This was the first time that I had Dave on set with us recording the sound.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, that's great. Thanks. Gives me the chills.
You know, and she would have heard the breaking glass, so all of that gives her the false sense of security. So I think the door all of a sudden becomes a character.
That leads me to ask you about a glass breaking sound.
Sure, we can do that.
We don't have to do that here, right?
No,
Can we do that in
that.
post?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Andy,
Ready?
Dude.
check the cable on that mic, the one on the left.
Genius. Thank you. Nobody tosses a chord like me.
Using both of our notes and using what shots that I had finally edited, spent the day working on the final sound mix.
I'll duck it and we'll put the other one in. It'll be fine.
That's
I could do this all day.
Yeah, it's not down here.
Where are your gardening supplies at?
Gardening supplies? Yeah. Out 20. Thanks.
I wonder where they keep it.
Oh, this is interesting looking, isn't it? No, you guys don't have it. Thanks. On to greener
On
pastures.
to plan B.
Well, one, we can't turn it off without turning
You
off.
can unscrew it.
Can you reach that? We don't have a ladder. You have to stand literally on my shoulders.
That's that I
Well, you can stand on Dave's shoulders.
Andy and I have developed a very wonderful rapport with each other to be able to not only read each other and read exactly what's going on, but we also teach each other quite a bit of things.
It was great fun. I think the way that they work together is great because they bounce ideas off each other, and I think really helped to kind of make sure all the bases are covered. When I started to kind of notice how other film teams and crews work together, I really appreciated just the atmosphere that they're able to create with their crew, with their cast, of being very, very open and relaxed. That I think is the highest point of working with the two of them is just their candor and the fact that it's always fun. You know, it's always fun to make a movie with them.
Just go ahead and close, put down.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else?
That's it.
So how much time do you want to see?
Sorry. Turn, Kelly.
All right, it's in the can.